Go-Rework is a business community platform and a co-working space in Jakarta that I started in 2016. So we are focusing in empowering people to be at their best by focusing on research spatial design, building on community and focusing collaboration, as well as empowering all that with technology. I'm originally from Indonesia, so I was born and grew up there. For as long as I can remember, I wanted to start my own business, and obviously the natural choice is the country that I'm most comfortable with, right? I have the most network there, I have the most support there, and it is a huge country on its own. It has a huge market on its own. So I think right now, if we look at globally, Southeast Asia is one of the most speedy growth country, and I'm glad that we have the support of the demand to keep growing. I think technology really has changed the way people work, right? And if we look at different platforms that has grown over the last decades, it's quite surprising that office space and work is probably one of the later ones that has developed, because we spend most of our waking hours actually at work, right? So what we do is we want to reinvent the way people work, and the key themes that we see a lot and growing is definitely flexibility from technology support. People now can work from anywhere at any time, and they have to be mobile, right? So we provide that by allowing people working from different places that we operate, working with partners that has outlets, for example, F&B outlets that are not being used during the day. So especially in Jakarta, where traffic is a major problem, we increase people's productivity by allowing them to work from anywhere at any time. So they don't have to go back to their office, spend like 2 hours in traffic, whereas they can be productive elsewhere, right? And another thing is definitely collaboration. So if you think about how office was managed and operated, even less than a decade ago, everything is isolated. You go to your office, you meet your coworkers, maybe sometimes even in a big company, people are not even outside of your department, right? But now with co-working environment, people are available to meet with other companies. They can have a lot of shared resources through events, through social networking, and it's it gives them a lot more opportunity to grow personally and also professionally. Particularly in Indonesia, I guess, because now we're still focusing in Indonesia, but I think in general, the biggest challenge is regulation. I think tech companies grow a lot faster than government regulation can control, right? So if you see, perhaps this is not just Southeast Asia, but also globally, urban transportation platforms such as Uber or Gojek, they still face some problems here and there. We also face that as well with setting up a co-working space in Indonesia. The government does not have or does not recognize that as a particular business line yet. So we have to work around that. The second challenge is talent, I feel. With the growth and also the speed of how everything changes now with technology, we need to make sure that we hire the right people, because people build the company and not the other way around. So that is something that we really focus on bringing in, which is great talent. And by talking to people, I feel that this is something that definitely education and awareness can support. I love that question, because I do have a big challenge in the morning before, morning time, especially Monday, like Monday morning or Sunday night even, is I think the hardest part of the week, because everything gets really overwhelming, right? I start my day really early, so I wake up around 5 to 5:30, because that's when actually I have my me time. I have 2 toddlers, age 5 and 3, And if I don't wake up early, then I will not be able to have time for myself, even to reflect on what I had been doing or plan my day. So I do it by meditating in the morning for half an hour, and then I do my exercise. I exercise almost every day, like I do cardio, run, cycling, swimming, and that gets me really, really fresh, like right away. It just wakes me up. I jump into the pool. It's freaking cold, even though it's Jakarta, but it's not a heated pool. So it really wakes me up, I read my journal as well. So it's not a long, it's not like a long story journal. I just focus on basically 3 main things, which is my wins on the previous day, because writing about small wins make me motivated. The second thing is insights or things that I learned from the previous day. And the third thing is what I'm grateful for. And those 3 are really a big kind of like, jump start in the morning. That's a tough question. I think my answer to that is, I'm building an ecosystem with the company with Go-Rework, right? So I do encounter meetings and also learn from a lot of companies that I can learn from. Obviously, I started because I was inspired by WeWork and what they have done and how they have impacted so many businesses around the world, how they grew so fast, and how they can really create an ecosystem of not just startups and small businesses, but also companies all over the world and help them grow. So I think that is a company that inspires me.